about how President Obama has canceled the most current moon landing plans. So how many of you brought the annotation that we started in class last time from that? One person, two people, three. Okay. Now, we want to see how closely the annotations that you've written line up with the requirements in the assignment sheet. So we're going to look here. We're going to look here at our assignment sheet, and we see that in the annotation there are some requirements. It should be 3 to 6 sentences. It should talk about what kind of source it is, right? Book, academic journal, business website, magazine, other things. The main ideas in the article. Then we need to talk about the credibility of the article. Now today, our topic in a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about how to find the right kind of sources for your project and how you can find the ones that are the most credible for your project. So it's okay if you don't know about this right now, because that's what we're going to talk about. All right, and then the last item is, how does this article or this source help you with your project? So what we want to look for is how closely the annotation for this article fits with these requirements. So let's see here. Papa, would you mind reading your annotation, please?
Appleman decry Obama's wage plan by Panel Gosh is a really interesting article. It talks about the disagreement of astronauts towards President Obama's decision of canceling the NASA moon exploration. And I think the source is really credible because it is from a famous website, which is BBC News. Mm-hmm. And the source helps us a lot because it shows us an overview of what an annotated biography is.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, based on your just now listening to him, how well do you think, oh, that's not supposed to happen, let's go back. Okay, how well do you think that that annotation that he just read fits these 4 requirements?
He did most of them.
Most of them, yes, very, very true. The one thing I would say is that you said that it was a journal article, but in fact it is an online news article. Journal articles, and we will talk about this more in detail in a couple of minutes. Journal articles are academic sources. They're very, very specialized, published about very, very specialized topics, and they are incredibly good resources for quality information in your essays. Good morning, good morning. They are just wonderful, and Missouri State Minor Library has online or printed access to dozens of them. Just dozens. In the basement of Minor Library, there's this huge, huge, huge room full of row after row after row after row of printed journals. I've been down there several times to find some journal articles and make some copies. It's got a lot of excellent information there, but it's kind of creepy, I would have to say. It's big and empty, or well, empty because there's no people, just books. But you can find many wonderful pieces of information in there. And most of the most current journal articles are actually available online. The ones in the basement are a little bit older, maybe at least 4 years old, or maybe older than that. But it's just wonderful, really it is. It's amazing how many resources this library has available. Okay, now I saw somebody on this side outside of the room, say that they brought their annotation. What is it? Was it both of you guys?
But I think it required.
Okay. Which part do you think?
I can read it. The article is in online newspaper. The main idea is NASA constellation program go to Moon 2012 by President Obama.
Okay.
The resource is credible because it's famous news station.
And then do you have any comments about how it helps you with your project?
The article have some new interesting thing about the NASA program.
No, I think you did a very good job on that. I think that works. Okay. So now maybe we have a little bit better understanding about this annotated bibliography thing. So how do you feel about this? Now that you've done an example and now that you've seen the requirements, do you feel like you halfway know what this is about?
This is like in the first paragraph, the essay. You do that.
No, this is part of your works cited stuff at the very end of the essay. As we've mentioned before, the annotated bibliography, it's the list of your works cited, but it also, the annotation part is a paragraph that talks about the source itself. What's in the source? Why is it important for me? Is it credible? It helps you to remember your sources as you're doing your own research. And it also helps other people, like, for example, some large annotated bibliographies are published to help other researchers who may be doing stuff about that same topic. And this really helps you understand what's in your sources so that you can have a better idea of them in your mind, and then you can come up with better ways to connect them together in your paper.
I have a question.
Yeah?
How do you know if the resource is credible or not?
That's what we're going to talk about today. Thank you for bringing that up. That's what we're going to talk about right at this moment, actually. And that means I have more stuff for you guys. Now, this is a 3-page handout. And it says page 1, page 2, page 3 at the bottom. And they're all just stacked 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just make sure you get all 3 pages. There we go. For you. And wait, I want one copy for myself. Some for you. Okay, sources. Credible sources. Those are so important for your research life, guys. Can everybody see this okay, or should I make it a small bit bigger?
Okay.
Are we good? All right. Okay. Working with sources. And so, point number 1. This is a quote that I feel like is very important for us to remember as we're doing research and we're writing essays. It is, the right to be heard does not include the right to be taken seriously. So what does that mean exactly? Any thoughts, ideas? What does this mean?
Not everything we heard is just.
Exactly. Just because, now, like for example, I have one relative who